All right, welcome to Dual Redundancy, the only podcast where you can hear all the latest in television and entertainment news with two millennials with exactly the same opinions. I'm one of those hosts, David Allen, and another one is
John Berwick, and the third one is
Kyle Bridger. I would say that I am Boba Fett, and you two are the Gamorrean guards.
Oh yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. As a Star Wars aficionado, I know exactly the character that you gave me and John.
I want to be left guard.
Okay, and
Yes,
I'll be the other left, the right guard.
the big green
the
goblins.
Correct guard, yes.
The big green, Hulk. If he were fat.
All right, yes. You're mixing in Marvel, you're mixing in Star Wars, two things that we know so much about. So we are going to be talking about the book of Boba Fett, the series premiere, and then we got a season 2 to talk about. It's finally back after years and years, Euphoria, plus so much other things to catch up on since we've been off for a couple weeks. We're back, we're ready to go. We got this first segment, and I can't remember what it's called. John, what is it?
In and out points.
In, order out, in, order out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, order out.
Yes, it is in and out points. We got a couple tonight. We're catching up on things, from the last couple of weeks. The first thing we're going to be talking about is something that took place on Sunday night. Sunday night would have been the airing of the 79th Golden Globe Awards on NBC. We would have been breaking it all down. We would have been predicting them. We would have reacted to the nominations. We would have said how The Power of the Dog and West Side Story and Succession all won big. But we're not here to discuss the winners of the ceremony. We're not even going to really talk about the ceremony, or should I say lack thereof, because there was no red carpet. There was no celebrity guests. It was just a private gathering at the Beverly Hilton Hotel with the HFPA in attendance, and it was not live streamed. We'll talk about how they announced the winners, because that's a whole other story. But Kyle, were you sad to see there was no way to watch the Golden Globes this year?
No, in fact, I think it's getting the right amount of attention it deserves at this point.
A mention on Dual Redundancy.
Yes.
That's it.
I was gonna say, you were describing it, and I'm like, this just sounds like three guys giving their best choices, awards, and I really think we could turn this into the Dual Redundancy Awards.
I was joking with our friends at the Good, Bad, and Watchable. Why didn't we stream it? We have a live stream.
Yeah.
John, you could have been the live stream director for the Golden Globes this year.
Yeah, put that on my resume. I don't know. It's kind of sad that it's been reduced so far. Like, I don't know. Nothing. Not even one person being like reading it off a list. I feel like that would be less weird if someone just sat there and read it, like, off a piece of paper in front of them.
Because they got Snoop Dogg to announce the nominees back a month or two ago. They streamed that ceremony. And then I remember back when they did the writer's strike back in 2008, again, there was no big ceremony. It was more like a press conference. But again, they announced them. It was on video. This year, no. I think it's because no celebrity with a 10-foot pole with a 6 feet social distance wants to even touch these things because of all the controversies that we've talked about in the past on the podcast, all the new ones that have come out. It's just NBC was already not airing this ceremony, had nothing to do with COVID and the new variant. I think in a weird way, they kind of like lucked out, because in an alternate reality, if it was planned, I'm not sure we would have gotten it anyway with the variant that's, kind of all over right now, especially in Los Angeles and in New York.
But you're also talking about an award that is irrelevant in the eyes of some people anyways. So, they're not going to want this thing. And then they themselves make themselves more irrelevant. So who wants to get an award from them? It's like it means nothing now. And now it means even less. And so it's like, this doesn't we can move on with the awards race and get to the ones that really feel like they matter, because this is like Kickback Central award show. It's like, oh, did my son get on set when you were creating this movie? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like they definitely have, like, you could tell they're struggling for celebrity presenters. If they got celebrity presenters to actually want to show up, we would have gotten a live stream. There's no chance that wouldn't happen. I mean, a year or two ago, when they had like the big controversies kind of come out, like, people, I remember Tom Cruise gave his statues back. We don't want these anymore. We don't want to be associated with this. So yeah. And it's like this weird thing now that I think studios are going to have to deal with, because it's like, you know, some of their movies won awards, and it's like they would usually use this as a boost at the movie theaters of saying, hey, this just won some Golden Globes, you should go check it out. That kind of led to some, even though they're irrelevant, it did lead to Oscar buzz. And it's like, well, did these films get a boost, a non-boost? Like, does this mean anything? Did it ever? Kind of did, but it kind of didn't. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever be able to erase the stigma to get back on NBC. We'll have to see if, you know, because at the end of the day, I think it, you know, it makes some money for them, some ad revenue, you know, for them to air it, promote whatever NBC Peacock show that they want to get somebody presenting, you know, from. But
I mean, I know Hollywood loves to give itself awards, but can we really see this thing coming back and being anywhere close to what? I mean, people are having a hard enough time watching like the Oscars and the ones that feel like they really matter. I mean, let alone Golden Globes, and now they're mired in controversy. It's like, if the average viewer doesn't see it on one year, it's like, oh, I forgot that this existed.
Yeah. Well, if you were in your Twitter feed, you definitely saw it existed, because that's how they announced the winners this year. No ceremony, but they weirdly announced them on social media. I pulled a few, because they are really just some odd ways to explain that somebody has won an award. This first one I'll say is, it takes 43 muscles to smile. Thanks for the workout, Andrew Garfield. And congratulations for taking home the Golden Globe for Best Actor, Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
It's just doing too much.
I learned it takes 43 muscles to smile. Way to go. We saw Tick, Tick, Boom, which also, by the way, is not mentioned in this tweet. So it's like,
yeah.
What did he win for? I mean, technically, I won't say the 3 films, but he was in 3 films this year. Was it for any of those? Like, we don't know. He won an award. Okay. Yeah. That's how like all the categories were. They didn't announce what a movie the actor was winning for. It was very strange.
At least they didn't make a bomb reference in the tweet, because that might have been a worse situation.
I do have one that they had to delete, and then they fixed it right after. It was for West Side Story. At first they said, if laughter is the best medicine, West Side movie is the cure for what ails you. West Side Story, for those who don't remember, is a drama that involves death, tragedy. Sure, there's music and, you know, stuff like that, and one for musical comedy. But I don't know if it's really a laugh riot.
Yeah.
So then they deleted that tweet, and then they added, if music is the best medicine, then that is what cures you.
Does whoever's writing these tweets not know, like, West Side Story? Like, did they not watch, or did they not know, like, from the previous West Side Story? Like,
if I had to bet what happened, I bet they wrote a bunch of things and then they added the movie in later, where it's like, no matter who won, it's like, it takes 43 muscles to smile. Thanks for the workout. Insert actor here. And it's just like, same with this. It's like, because the saying is, if laughter is the best medicine, blank is the cure for what, you know, it's like, they could have put in any movie here. I'm trying to even see what
sounds like anything could have been the best medicine. I'm waiting to see what else could have been the best medicine.
Oh, you can check the internet. They have a lot of ideas of what is actually the best medicine. Yeah. Well, all right. That is it. That's all we're gonna give for the Golden Globes this year. That's it. Bye. See you.
Wow.
See you never. But
gone like the opening and closing of an envelope.
There you go. All right. Well, we know that the Golden Globes if they do come back, they'll probably go to NBC. They probably won't go to CW because, to be honest, we don't know if CW is going to be around for much longer.
Mm-hmm.
The broadcast network is being shopped by its corporate owners, Viacom, CBS, and Warner Media. Right now, the local TV giant Nexstar, which owns about 200 local stations and the cable news channel News Nation, is among the potential suitors. But right now, Viacom, CBS, Warner Media, which co-own CW, they're looking for a sale. It's unclear if they're planning to sell it completely or retain like a minority stake. Well, what do you think about this, Kyle? Are you going to be sad to possibly see CW be sold off?
I will not. I didn't watch CW very often, but I think it's like a lot of where like the superhero stuff is based. So, right? A lot of superhero stuff is on the CW, I feel
I
like.
think that's all it is at this point. Like
Yeah.
it really is.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So it could be like some network in the England for that audience, but who's buying TV networks like
broadcast, especially TV networks right now? If anything, people are looking to sell. That's what CBS is doing. Like, they're like, we already have too many. We're trying to get rid of some of these. It's just and then according to the Hollywood Reporter, where I saw this story, the CW actually has not been profitable since 2006, and that's when the two companies merged, UPN and the WB, to make CW. So it's really never been, as the network itself has never been profitable. Most of the revenue and stuff is from the streaming sales, the international sales of scripted originals that are on the CW, but the network itself hasn't been successful.
Weird. So they sell their content. So their content is good enough to sell on the market, but not profitable in and of itself to run.
As you were saying, it's always like superhero teen shows that are on CW. It's like, how many teens are really watching CW?
Yeah.
Friday night or Thursday, whatever. It's just, and as we know, these originals of all the different shows we talk about, so many different studios own them that make them versus distribute them. And that's, I think, what we're going to kind of see with this, where it's like, okay, maybe back in the day, it made sense for Viacom, CBS, and Warner Media to do this shared venture, but now it doesn't. I mean, Viacom, CBS, and Warner Media have their own streaming services that they want their own content for. So why am I sharing it with a rival network, rival studio?
Dude, I don't know. Who's gonna buy them though? Who wants
$1, Bob. We'll start the bidding.
Yeah, you're gonna put in $1 and lose a couple 100,000 immediately.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right. Well, I don't know who's gonna buy it. I mean, it could be the Nexstar group. Maybe it's Amazon. Amazon could be a suitor. They already bought MGM recently, the big movie studio, which is good news actually for one movie theater. This theater, it's not clear where the theater is located, but one theater was caught on TikTok using an Amazon Prime account to stream 2018's The Grinch in a special like holiday screening that they were showing at their movie theater. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only technical glitch that the theater had showing this off of Amazon Prime. We have a video. John, roll it.
We're going to be watching this on an old app. Are you kidding me? Oh man.
Oh,
They already started it. They got to watch it from the beginning.
Oh man.
So in case you missed that at the end, if you're just listening to the audio version, the theater was logging into the Amazon account, pulling it up, searching through the films. Oh, here's a couple Grinch movies. They found the right one. They go to play it. Too many streams. They're at the maximum number of streams currently playing. Oh, too bad.
Oh
bad.
man. Think about the person at the theater that was working. Like, oh shoot, what do I do? What do I do?
They don't put it in picture mute before they do it. Like, why would you even
Yeah.
have it showing in the first place unless there's
I
no way
know.
to like monitor it? But that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it just why would you ever show that? Not only is
Yeah.
it illegal, but like
Yeah.
it's like not that it's tacky, but it's it's a theater. Like, why is it
Yeah.
not like a presentation? Isn't that what the whole thing is about? Like,
Yeah. They keep Denny Villeneuve. You got to get to the theater. You got to watch. I'm like, dude, I have Amazon at my house, and guess what? There's only one stream. I'm the only one watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just funny. It's like, it literally, I don't know if this is a big chain, if it's a small independent theater. I don't know what it is, but it's like, yeah, theaters just like us, sharing
I
the,
know. They're hurting too, man. They've got to go off there. They're sharing streams. The movie business is so bad that they're sharing streams between friends.
yeah. AMC and Regal. Hey, you guys want to go halvesies on this?
Yeah.
All right. We got one more in and out point to discuss tonight. It's only been a week or so of 2022, but we already got a big celebrity feud to talk about. Elmo versus Rocco. I don't know if you've been on Twitter. This is all I've been seeing on my Twitter. There's a clip from Sesame Street that has gone viral where Elmo tries to take an oatmeal cookie that was meant for Zoe's pet rock, Rocco. I'll give you some context here, and I'll play the clip that started it off that got over about 9 million times at least. I think it's the last time I checked on Twitter. Play it.
That's Elmo's favorite. Oh, Gabby, can Elmo have an oatmeal raisin cookie instead, please?
Oh, gee, Elmo, that was my last one.
Oh, that's okay, Gabby. Elmo will just take this one.
No, wait, Elmo. Rocco says that he wants the oatmeal raisin cookie.
Rocco? Rocco's a rock, Zoe. Rocco won't know the difference.
Yes, he will. You can't have that cookie, Elmo. Rocco wants to eat it.
How? How is Rocco going to eat that cookie, Zoe? Tell Elmo. Rocco doesn't even have a mouth. Rocco's just a rock. Rocco's not alive.
Rocco's not alive. How is he going to eat the cookie, Zoe? How? Explain it to Elmo.
Yeah, explain it.
the same way Cookie Monster eats them.
He just throws it in his face. I at first I'm watching, what is this? And then I saw like in the thread of this, there is so many more clips. And so this is like an ongoing like saga, how much Elmo hates Rocco and this rock, how he's always like, I guess, so this clip that went viral, I don't know how it went viral now, but it's from May of 2004. And somehow got posted. And yeah, again, it's getting so many millions of hits on Twitter. But Rocco was first introduced in 1999 and has aggravated Elmo since with just, getting in front of him, for a different turn or stealing his oatmeal cookie. It's just like this ongoing thing, and just how much hatred that like such a friendly, happy-go-lucky character has for this rock. What do you think? Or which side are you choosing, John? Elmo or Rocco? Who's at fault here?
Oh boy, I think Zoe's at fault. Zoe's enforcing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a kid show. It's it's important to discuss sharing, but Elmo does have a fair point that the cookie's not eating a rock. I mean, the rock's not eating a cookie. So really, like,
yeah, it's just like, yeah, well. First of all, good on Elmo for liking oatmeal raisin. That at first I was gonna say that's a demerit because who likes oatmeal raisin? But the idea that like, oh, he won't be able to tell the difference, and Zoe thinks that this Rocco is a food critic. He can taste the difference in cookies. It's just, yeah, I'm going with you, John. Get out of here, Zoe. Get out of here.
Yeah, you gotta agree with Elmo here. Who's on Rocco's side?
Zoe, and that's it. And I don't
Yeah,
trust Zoe.
Zoe, we put Zoe in the corner. Time out for
Yeah.
her, Zoe.
She can hang out with her friend Rocco.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Don't worry. In the end, Elmo gets the cookie after Zoe finally agrees that Rocco isn't real. I was quoting Elmo there. That was my Elmo.
That was it. Oh, that was your Elmo.
No, yeah,
Okay.
I'm not going to do the voice. I am not falling for that this early in 2022.
We would have had an early soundbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice try. Nice try. Next time. All right. We got some shows to talk about. In order to talk about them, we have to go back. So, guys, send us back.
I'm back, baby.
Gotta get back in time.
All right. The Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 1, Stranger in a Strange Land. It dropped on Disney Plus December 29th. 2 episodes have aired. We're mostly going to focus on the first one here. And this spinoff of The Mandalorian takes place after the events of Star Wars Return of the Jedi. And it features bounty hunter Boba Fett as he attempts to take over the territory once controlled by Jabba the Hutt. All right. I believe we've all seen it. I think John has even seen 2 episodes. So, John, start me off. Boba Fett, what did you think?
Sure. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much I watched the second one. I haven't watched any Mandalorian. I don't know how it compares to that as far as how good things are, but what I like is, without seeing anything, I know pretty much where this sits in the Star Wars world. Like, it's right after what is it, Return of the Jedi, or whatever, wherever it is. You know where in the timeline it is. My problem with Mandalorian is it's a longer time ago, right? It's way far. So, like, how does it tie, besides Baby Yoda, into everything else?
Yeah, actually, because I actually got confused watching Boba Fett, because I've seen both seasons of The Mandalorian, and I won't spoil the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. But that makes me think, at first I thought it was before, way before, but there's an event at the end of season 2 where it's like, no. This is maybe after the 6th.
For Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So then
I
guess I gotta go watch it. But
there's some person right now on Twitter.
angry
You
YouTube
idiot.
review. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
all right. Well, let me put it this way. This is clear where it sits. That seems like it's ambiguous. So I kind of like that.
I looked it up. 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi is the start of The Mandalorian. So we're in like the same kind of time period.
Interesting.
But
besides that, I thought that there were some nice callbacks to the original trilogy, which I know we're going to discuss some more. I think my biggest complaints were there's kind of a big fight scene in the middle, and it just felt slow and kind of lame with the electric shields and all that. And then right behind that was a bunch of fisheye shots of them doing like parkour everywhere, and I thought that was lame too. But everything else I really liked.
I hear you. I have similar complaints about it, but I want to hear Kyle's takes first before I go into mine.
I'll just say, for the most part, I was confused. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I've seen Star Wars. I like Star Wars. And I like the world that's set up right. I love Boba Fett, that iconic kind of suit he wears. I mean, you would kind of know from anywhere in this kind of world, but like, I just was so confused. Do I need to watch The Mandalorian to understand what's happening here? Or what do I need to see more of? Tell me what's the lowest bar of entry. This is what I need whenever I watch these things. Give me a bar of entry for watching so that I know what I need to watch in order to get a better understanding.
I think you gotta watch. Yeah, I think you gotta watch all six of the original Star Wars films, because they reference all the way back to Episode 1 in certain parts, I believe, with the young Jango, or Boba as a kid. I think during episode, I don't know. They reference back to like Episode 1, so yes, you kind of gotta watch all those. I thought of one other thing I had an issue with. There were a couple times when he took his helmet off, and the black part of his helmet looked like really lame plexiglass that was just like glued in, and I didn't like that either.
So you're saying they might be producing these on the cheap because they have to make so many, John?
You know what? I don't know if it's just that one feature of it. Everything else looks really nice. It's just because he takes his helmet off and because they're on like this desert, you could see through it. Like, you know, like.
And I know he has an older model, but like the one that the Mandalorian wears is like quality steel. It's like, wow, that looks nice. But this one is, a bit beat up, maybe from the 70s or 80s, whenever that movie was on. For me, I also like Star Wars, probably not as much as most people, but of the two shows, and I'll talk about some comparisons, contrasting later, I was let down by this compared to Mandalorian. I think the Mandalorian, at least, especially the first episode of the Mandalorian, is so much better than this first episode of Boba Fett. It's by the same creative team. The same people are behind both. You know, you have, the score, which has always been good with these. The visual effects in the style that I believe like they shoot all this like in a studio in like Manhattan Beach, California. It's all in a studio, but like they have these like cool like LED visual like screens that around it that can make them seem like they're in another world. So like all that stuff is there. It looks like the same show, but I just felt like the other show was better at things. Like this was missing the spark. I guess I could start with, no offense to the lead actor, but I mean, he's a bit on the older side. He's a bit, to me, at points, I think it was a little pudgy. It's like, it seemed like he needed help getting up. This is Jonathan Banks, he's trying to go around.
I don't know if this is true in the lore, but, and forgive me, anyone who knows a lot about Star Wars, but I believe he is either the basis or one of the clones that they were making for episode 1. And I think part of that cloning process was rapid aging. So I don't know if that plays a part. I don't remember if he's one of the clones or if he's what they're based on or the son of. I'm not sure where he fits in, but that could possibly be a reason why. I'm not sure. I'm just because I remember when they were talking in episode 1 about getting the army ready and how they have to age quickly and all this stuff. So again, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but that could be part of the reason why.
We got Dark in the chat. He's not a Boba Fett fan of just the character. He's always thought he's a dumb character. Literally was no one until the extended book universe made him something. And they're literally making a story about a suit of armor, and I guess he is a identical clone of Jango, but there's no rapid aging. Either way, I just felt like the actor, he was literally being dragged around again and again and again. That's another thing I'll get to. But it's like, at least with The Mandalorian, you never see, I mean, for the most part, Pedro Pascal's face in The Mandalorian, but more charisma, humor, just ability. I just feel like without that, versus this guy who is, I see his face and I'm not getting anything yet. I'm not getting a connection. I'm not getting I got to root for him. I got to be with him. And I don't know. It's just for me, I was like, okay, because I know a lot of people really like the Boba Fett character outside of Dark in the chat. I think a lot of people are like, oh, he's so mysterious and cool, and he had the coolest armor and all this stuff, like, at least back in the day in the 80s or whatever. But I
will say that during that first episode, you kind of see some flashbacks to how he escaped the Sarlacc pit and all that.
Yeah.
And the second episode really dives a lot deeper into how he got to what is present day, I guess, in the story. And it definitely, I like that a lot better than the present day stuff. We'll put it that way, which is maybe why I'm thinking a little bit more favorable, because I saw that second episode and that was heavily in the past, if you will.
Which is interesting, because for me, I felt like the stuff I almost didn't like was some of that earlier stuff, because I feel like it metaphorically and literally dragged, as I was kind of like saying earlier, like it was just over and over. We just kept seeing him being dragged around, looking up, seeing these like elephant creatures, and he's like, oh, foggy, and then dragged again, foggy. It's like, yeah, we could have sped that up. We could have cut one or two of those times out. It it was like 12 minutes before we actually got any actual dialogue. And it's like, yeah, I could figure this out. He got out of the Sarlacc pit. He gets captured. He gets out. Like we could almost either have yada yada it, or as you're saying, show us in the next episode. But I don't know if I needed like 10, 12 minutes of literally
Maybe
being
it was
dragged
just
around.
maybe it was just the pacing in general, because I
Yeah.
thought the scene with David Pasquazi was too long. Like I thought that was too long. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff happening here, but it's too long. It's just way too long.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And I will say there is a lot of stuff for the fans, definitely, of Star Wars. There's Easter eggs galore. They're so big, I don't even know if a new term should be made. It's like when he's in the Sarlacc, it's like
Callbacks.
Yeah, callbacks is probably better. It's like you see the stormtrooper that was also eaten with him. It's like there he is, and it's like all these things. Like, oh, I recognize that. Oh, the Tusken Raiders, of course, Jabba's throne. It's just like there's so many things, and sometimes I always like worry with these type of shows where it's just like, is this just nostalgic? Morphine? Is this just people like, oh yes, there it is. Oh, there's that prop. It's like, okay, like I always am looking for more why we're saying this story now. But it is, I will say, I want to bring up one video that a celebrity fan said something 8 years ago, predicted this story and how it would start. John, do we have a clip?
Pan down from the twin suns of Tatooine. We are now close on the mouth of the Sarlacc pit. After a beat, the gloved Mandalorian armor gauntlet of Boba Fett grabs onto the sand outside the Sarlacc pit, and the feared bounty hunter pulls himself from the maw of the sand beast. Okay.
So yeah, that's the filibuster that Patton Oswalt did in Parks and Rec, where he predicted how the Boba Fett series would start 8 years ago. So yeah, celebrity, fans, regular fans, they're all excited for the series. I got maybe one or two more things, but anything else stand out to you, Kyle, about the show?
I'll just say I agreed with John with the fight scene. I thought
shields,
some of them were cheesy. It's just it
was slow. That was the issue. You had a guy like poke him, and then he got thrown away, and then someone jumped and he shield, and then it just wasn't a fight scene. It was just slow.
And that's what it was so weird, because again, it kind of goes back to the actor being a bit old, but also the pacing of the episode being slow. It's just everything just felt like, and what we saw in The Mandalorian, those fight sequences, and it's directed by the same person, written by the same person, probably the same production team. So I'm just expecting a lot more of that level, and we didn't get that here. One thing that we didn't get, which is kind of interesting, is they probably deliberately chose not to do this, but The Mandalorian, the first episode, the thing that everybody talks about, the thing that non-Star Wars fans know about, Baby Yoda. There's a big reveal at the end of the Mandalorian premiere. And I feel like, I don't know if that was missing this here. Not necessarily Baby Yoda specifically, but like something that was like, oh, like, whoa, or like, you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. But, it's just,
you need something.
Can bring in other people, non-Star Wars fans, maybe kids, maybe other something. This right now, it's like, do I really want to watch this guy, do his thing? Right now, no. But sounds like John says you like probably the second episode better. It sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but like I said, it dives deeper into his relationship with the Sand People, because they at the end of this first episode, he kind of comes back and is recognized by the leader, and that's the start of the relationship between the two of them kind of changing, and the dynamic that comes out of that. So I don't know, I thought it was interesting. There was one part near the middle end that was really weird. It just like was a total tone shift. It wasn't bad, but it was just like, what? And then we got back to normal, and yeah, I thought it was cool. It had a cool one story arc. The episode arc was pretty interesting, so I enjoyed it.
All right. So it sounds like you want to keep going. Kyle, you gonna keep going?
Unless I hear something from you guys that make it worth keep going, I'll go. But I think I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna wait back and see how things turn out.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm probably with you on that. But all right, we got another show to talk about. It's finally back. Euphoria, season 2. Let's see. The premiere is called "Trying to Get to Heaven Before They Close the Door." January 9th, 2022. Season 1 wrapped up all the way back in 2019. And we got 2 specials about a year ago. But finally, the teen drama is back to look at the lives of high school students and all the drugs, sex, violence, and rock and roll that they face today. All right, Kyle. Glad for it to be back.
Yeah. I mean, I like this show. It's so absurd, so ridiculously absurd, even more so than I think previously. Or I've just like, after being away from it and then coming back, you're like, wait, this is really what it was about. It's just so wild. The what the kids get up to in this world that he's created. It's like, what world is this based on? But apparently
this wasn't your high school life.
No, but apparently it was his. It says it's based on his experiences. What experiences are those? Jeez. But anyways, yeah, I'm glad it's back. I'm interested in all the characters. I thought it was weird that we open on the Fez, the drug dealer, but it actually made him more endearing, and I think that's what they needed to do with what he was going to do later on in the episode. And you're starting to root for him to get with the girl because he seems like a gentleman, but then he's like beating the crap out of this dude who's obviously like a super evil villain. This one guy is, man,
psychopath.
Yeah, psycho. The sisters are a mess. Rue's a mess. It's a lot of crazy stuff went down, but I'm digging the style. It's come back. I enjoy watching it, and I like the characters. So
yeah, it's good to be back. It's such a special show. It's very stylized, very ambitious. The cinematography, the music. It's just what they're doing is it makes you stop and just say, wow, with the lighting and it's they're trying for stuff and sometimes some of the best parts of the show also makes some of the worst, if that makes sense. Maybe I missed it. You kind of hinted at it a little bit, Kyle, but like after season 1, we saw Malcolm and Marie by the same creator director here, and maybe sometimes I'm seeing a little bit more of the pretentiousness of the show, and kind of like, okay, really. One thing that I might harp on a little bit, maybe it didn't bother you as much, it really kind of actually bugged me in this episode, was specifically the amount of nudity in this episode. I know we have had it plenty of times before in the series. There's been a bunch, but for me, if it felt in this episode specifically that it was shocking to be shocking. Like it was just there to, and after a while, it just made, it was like numbing. It was like, okay. Oh, again. And okay. I'm the first one with the strip club moment. Okay, we're here. We're back into it. That's a big moment. But then every time after it just felt like really like the drug dealer forcing everyone to strip. The close up on Cassie's breasts as she's getting dressed again.
Yes,
it's like the full frontal of the guy who just happens to sit on the toilet. The guy we don't even have the name for. It's just like okay, we get it. You're on HBO. Great, cool. You can do this, but like we don't need it all the time. When you use it sparingly, it makes an impact. When you use it all the time, it's just like, okay, whatever. And like in the scene with the drug dealer, it's like, okay, you're checking for wires. Do you really need them for the next 5 to 10 minutes in the scene to also just be standing there naked? No, you don't.
Yeah, cut to they're all dressed again. Yeah,
but because for me, for the most part, I just feel icky because while these characters are of age in real life,
they're supposed to be teens.
They're supposed to be teens in high school in the series. So it's just, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird thing. Yeah.
But all right, this episode covered a lot of ground. You
Mhm.
mentioned the stuff with Fezco. We got a little bit of his backstory. We got some Nate, a lot of terrible Nate in this episode, and then
he's
the altercation
the worst, man.
between the two of them. That's what closes the episode. It's not looking good for Nate. Beat to a pulp by Fezco here. I mean, we talked about another HBO series with a character who didn't look good at the end of an episode if he was going to be around. I think he's still going to be around Nate, but
Mhm.
I don't know. He might be out for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna be back right away. I think he is the villain in the story. We're gonna see a lot of him. He's already stirred the pot up between the sisters, which she lucked out. But yeah, he is legit psycho. And I forgot the beef between those two. What happened? That he wasn't it the thing between Rue and
Yeah, I tried watching a couple videos because it has been so long to catch up. And I kind of glossed over this part, but from what I understand, yeah, Fez was trying to do like something to Nate because I think he heard all the stuff was going on between Rue and Jules and all that stuff. So he's trying to, get to Nate.
Yeah.
Well, then Nate ends up calling the cops on.
Oh,
Fez's
that's
operation.
That's right.
They're throwing all the drugs, away. And obviously, well, all the drugs are gone. Well, now he needs to pay for those drugs, and so it creates problems for him. So there's definitely some animosity between them and their business and stuff like that. So yeah. We'll have to see where this goes. Of course, you have the idea that Fez is kind of on his own. I mean, he has to take care of his brother there, but then or I guess like stepbrother. I don't know how it works for you. It was like an interesting backstory we got. But anyways, you have Nate, who's probably a guy that's upper middle class.
For sure.
He's up there, and he probably has a powerful dad, powerful family. So we'll have to see how this all ends up happening for them.
Yeah.
Let's see. I really liked actually the sequence of Cassie hiding in the bathtub from Maddie.
Yeah.
I felt the suspense. This was like a suspenseful, like, don't do that. Like the whole time you're just worried about her being caught by Maddie.
For sure.
I will say, Cassie, did you not see Hereditary? You got to put your seatbelt on and head inside the car. You can't be sticking your head outside that car at those speeds. I was worried. I was really worried in that scene that something was going to happen.
That's you. Yeah.
Just anything. Obviously, he was drinking. He was speeding.
Yeah.
It was just
being a psycho.
Yeah.
Also, what cracked me up, right, is he was clearly, and I wrote this down, he was clearly drinking Budweiser. But if I remember correctly, Budweiser now does twist off tops. So him doing the thing with the
like
teeth,
6 times.
he did it 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And it's like, dude, they're twist off tops. That's not even cool.
Yeah.
It's stupid anyways, but you're doing it with twist off tops. Okay.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm worried about his dental bill. That's kind of stuff. I would never try that because I feel like I would instantly break off a tooth. But
it's like, dude, it's not as cool as you think.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Another scenario I want to discuss is actually involves Fezco again, but it's also with Lexi. That's Maud Apatow's character. Until this episode, I really did not understand the purpose of this character.
Yeah.
I felt like, we need to get more from her. And we got definitely more in this episode. And I thought, at least at first, some kind of romance flirtation with Fezco. But after this altercation at the end, I don't know. I feel like she is such like a straight laced, like no problems for me, and it's like, she'd be asking for trouble. I feel like,
Yeah, but I think she might be honestly looking for that because she's, always seen as the responsible one. She's looking after her sisters, trying to figure out. And then when Cassie's found like everybody's acting so chill. And she's like, I was worried all the time. And add on to the fact that she now has I know the real side of him. He seems so sweet and innocent. And then he bashed somebody's head in. Yeah, I can fix him. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she spent like the whole episode of like, asking about her sister. Where is she? Where is she? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? And then as soon as she finds her, hey, why is she acting like that? Why is she acting like that? It's like, dude, you gotta get a life. Worry about yourself. Move on. Like, she's here. She's safe. Move on. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Move on.
Move on.
Everything is fine.
One more actually nitpick while I'm thinking about it. They're at this party here. A lot of music drops in this episode. Do you think, Kyle, you know the kids better than I do of these days? Are the kids of today listening to the music we listen to and that are like generation before? Like some of that was like even older than us. Were they listening to that at their parties?
I don't know. Maybe it depends on what it is.
I could see maybe a popular Biggie song that they were like listening to. I could see that, but there was some stuff I'm like, no, you're not listening to this. Listen to this. Like,
I mean, a lot of kids wear those vintage tees, but it's more like style than it is like I actually listen to this band or whatever kind of thing. But I don't know, maybe, but I would say for the most part, no.
Yeah, and I just realized we haven't even like talked about Rue, the star of the show yet.
I know.
There's so much going on, but yeah, I feel like, we got a little bit with her towards the end because I feel like sometimes the show, doesn't know exactly what to do with her because she's, suffering with relapse and stuff like that. And at the end of this episode, this relationship that she has with Jules, the on again, off again, the are we dating? Are we not? Are we friends? Are we this? Are we that? It's just all over the place. So I'm curious to see what the season has in store for them, especially, we got 2 specials last year. One was on Jules, one was on Rue. So clearly, like that's our story. That's our duo.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think we all liked watching their like relationship as it was happening. It was such a vital part of the show. So I don't know. Do they do a lot of on again, off again the entire season, or what is it? Rue battling her drugs, and then is Jules in the background? I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. I think both of us are going to be watching the rest of the season. Sunday nights on HBO. That's usually a good sign.
Yep.
All right. Well, before we go, we're going to kind of catch up on a few things. We're going to quickly jump in and check them out. Maybe like a quick check.
Quick check.
All right. Yes, quick check. I'm going to start off with mine because it's on a streaming service, just kind of like HBO. It was a movie. It was on Netflix. I'm going to talk about Don't Look Up. It dropped on Netflix on December 24th. It's the big Adam McKay satire with everyone and their mom in Hollywood and in this project. If they're a big name star, they're in this movie. And I don't know if I have to set it up because there's been so much discourse online about this film. My entire Twitter feed has been this film. I'll say I going into it, I liked The Big Short. Really did not like Vice. We've stated that on the podcast. So I saw strong takes on both sides. Where am I going to fall on this? And then, I watched the film and I log in a letterbox and I see reviews from my friends ranging from 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. I'm like, uh-oh, which side am I going to be on? Here we go. For me, down the middle, just okay. Like, for me, with this film, I don't think it's the hard-hitting comedic satire it thinks it is. For me, it was like very kind of like, they got the basic stand-ins for all the crazy stuff we've lived through the last 4 years. We know this person's this person, this person's... It's like watching the film, I'm like, this is going to happen because that's how that person would react. And I almost kind of wish they went farther, because this is like the problem I had with like Veep in the final season or 2, where it's like, how do you do a show about, everything going on in Washington that's making fun of that and doing a comedy on that when we had the first year of the former president? It's like, it's hard to make funny out of like chaos. It's like, we've already seen that in real life. How can you step up on that? So that's for me. I was waiting for something even crazier in this film than what we got. I almost felt like it played it safe. Even like with Vice, it's not in your face like Vice is. It's almost kind of like, you know, there wasn't any kind of crazy Adam McKay directing like cutaways or gags or stuff like that. So I was kind of like, okay, so yeah, I didn't think it was as bad as people were saying. I just thought it was kind of basic. I just thought it was kind of, I will say it was kind of long. It felt like it really dragged.
It was long. Yeah.
And I felt like if it wasn't this A-list cast, I don't know if any people would really have stuck with it the whole time. Like I think it really was helped by the cast and the talent that they had on screen. Because I really think the story was kind of just okay. I don't think it was really, you know, this satire, you know, that it thinks it was. I thought it was just it was fine. I don't see the I don't see the love, but I also don't see the hate. Like
yeah, you're looking at it as like, this thing is not any crazier than what I've been watching in the news or whatever. It's more like a mirror rather than a satire, I guess you would say. It's just a reflection of who we are more than like satirizing whatever's actually happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I needed, and that's why I think I needed something crazier. I needed something even more to kind of have that satire of like, whoa, that's crazy. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I almost needed that because it's like, yeah, that happened. I was there. I watched it on CNN. That happened.
Yeah.
Like there was the scene with Meryl Streep's president character after they're trying to denounce the comment, and she's at a rally, and she's like, they want you to look up, but guess what, guys? That's what they want you to do. You gotta don't look up. It's like I knew like the lines before it came, and of course she puts on the hat. It's like, oh, what's that hat supposed to be? It's just like, I lived through this. I want something a bit more. But
if anything, you could probably say it's Adam McKay probably angry about something that he feels politically, and then he got that anger out in his creativity by creating this movie. And I will say he didn't use many of the devices that he normally does. I mean, once or twice, but then it's weird to do that and then I'll have it throughout the entire film. Whatever. I thought it was good. I liked it. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was really good. At least he wasn't playing some rich dude all the time. You know, it's something new.
Way off type. He's a little bit.
Now he's just a hot scientist.
Of course, that was probably his note. He's like, can we give me a little something here?
But I thought it was fine. And I thought he had like an impassioned speech, and that was probably Adam McKay, you know, one night angry at the world, you know. Who knows? I'm just putting this stupid
Leo
stuff out there. But
those,
you know,
he is very environmental. Like that's his cause. He shoots for it. So that's probably another reason, because you don't see Leo in a streaming movie. Sure, they gave him a dumpster full of money for this film. But at the same time, I think it's also personal for him because of the story. But that's Don't Look Up. It's just a quick check. We gotta jump to Kyle's quick check. Kyle, what are you talking about this week?
Oh boy, I think we're talking about The Weeknd's new album. We haven't done anything music related in a while, so he released a new album called Dawn FM, which I think he probably thought was going to be like way trendier and cooler than it is, because Dawn FM, what is he going back to? Like, so there's these interludes where it's like stylized in like an old radio DJ format, but I'm like, who is this for? Because kids these days don't really listen to radio. So does this even make sense to like maybe some younger listeners that are just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just doesn't have that same vibe. But so I broke down the Weeknd's album into 3 main categories, and they are as such. And I sent this to another friend, so I'm gonna have to clean it up a little bit. But the first one is, I'm so effed up because of my trauma. Okay. Number 2 is, why don't you want to have sex with me as friends anymore? Okay. And number 3 is I'm so effed up on drugs because see part 1. And that is because of his trauma. So that is basically a gist of all the songs. They all sound very similar, very upbeat, and then a couple of slower stuff in between. I thought the beginning of the album was stronger. I especially liked Gasoline, How Do I Make You Love Me? And then everyone, David is talking about I Heard You're Married, because apparently people say it's about Ariana Grande.
Ooh.
So I don't know. Overall, I thought it was fine. It's The Weeknd, not his strongest album, but upbeat stuff that you can listen to.
Yeah, so the last one was probably better. I forgot the name of it. The one with Blinding Lights, that album.
Yes, I like that one better.
Isn't Jim Carrey on this album at some point? I think I saw that. Or
I think so, but I've listened to it. I don't know if he's the radio DJ. Maybe he is, and they put an effect on his voice. But I've listened to this album like 3 times. I don't know. Maybe that's who he is. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're doing music for a change. Nice. John, what do you got for us?
I've got The Silent Sea. Netflix recommended this to me, probably because I watched a lot of space movies and Squid Game, because it is a Korean drama. Interestingly enough, the doctor from Squid Games that was harvesting the organs, his actor, and the gentleman who played the guy that was giving out the cards, the salesman, I believe is what they call him, is in this as well. So both of those actors are in this. So there is a little bit of overlap with Squid Game, which again is probably why it recommended it to me. Basically, the short premise is that water is pretty much run out from Earth. It's being heavily metered. Your kind of social class kind of dictates how much water you get. So the people who are a little higher up get more water, and the people who are a little lower down get less. And on the moon is this research base where they were doing some sort of research, and this team is put together to go get and retrieve some sort of sample. It turns out the sample is this kind of special water that has special properties, and I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some potential intruders or saboteurs or a couple other things, and it's kind of the story of this team trying to get this sample and bring it back to Earth to try and maybe save humanity. We kind of don't know, because in the current state, the water is very not good for humans, but it replicates really quick. So it's a little bit weird. I believe I watched the last episode today. I don't think they're doing another season, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look that deep into it, but interesting. I was also wondering if maybe I'd get ahead of the curve and watch the next big thing before it came out, and I don't think so. But
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I don't. This doesn't have the same.
That Elmo versus Rocco thing is like
yeah,
almost 20 years old, and it became a big thing this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess probably not, but it wasn't bad. I wouldn't tell somebody not to watch it. I don't know if I would recommend it first out of things to watch, but
yeah, it doesn't say if it's a ongoing series. It is based on a short film from 2014, I guess. But
yeah, the way that the last episode ended, I'm guessing that there's probably not going to be any more. They could do more, but I think it kind of wrapped the story up. Maybe not the what happens to Earth, but at least the story of these astronauts. I think it wrapped up pretty well. So
maybe the new Squid Game will be in the Silent Sea.
There you go.
Well, crossover event, maybe. All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. That's all we got for tonight. That's our show. We're gonna be back on Monday next week. Normally it's Tuesday nights, but next week we're doing a Monday show, January 17th, and we're gonna be talking about 2 streaming series. One, kind of like this week. It's a superhero show, in that realm, Peacemaker on HBO Max, and then we got a Netflix series, Archive 81. Again, I don't know much about it. It seems like a horror type series that might be interesting, a mystery, might be fun to check out. that's what we got next week. And then we got some other stuff coming up in January. I just want to mention a Netflix show called Ozark. I've been catching up. We'll talk about Ozark season 4 premiere, and then talk about 2008 over here. How I Met Your Father. It's going to be dropping as well.
Oh boy.
So we'll be talking about those shows later on this month. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, the blog, doredunzy.com. You can follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at doredunzy. And we are live normally Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, twitch.tv/doredunzy. But again, Monday for the next show on the 17th. Got to thank both you guys for deciding to join me for another year of podcasting.
Wait, we had a choice?
You locked in. Sorry, you took the red pill. You're in. All right. Until next time, I'm David Allen.
I'm John Berwick.
And I'm Kyle Bridger.
And that's all we got for Dual Redundancy. Goodbye, everybody.